Another drill bit introduction. Is this ever going to end? Well, I promise you this is the third part, because hello to everyone that has subscribed and those that have just happened upon the channel, but I think most of you have came from Rob's channel, and so as a big thank you to him, I am going to look at his first request, which was looking at drill bits. So let's scope out these tools. And higher mags for the looking at the tungsten carbide, we were up to 55,000 times magnification. And today I will be making good on my promise, as I am scoping out tools at 55,000 times. Alright, so I can see from the optical image, which I'll just put back, I can see from the optical image this is the one that I've obviously used, and this is the clean one. So let's have a look at the clean one first, and then we'll have a comparison of it. Okay, so first things first, very well formed faceted edge. I think that has actually got a nice sharp part. It hasn't been rounded over, which we'll probably see when we actually have a little look. And then let's actually just now have a jump to a secondary. So this should hopefully be tungsten carbide tipped as well. And let's just see what the particle size looks like. And to make it easier, I am going to use the backscattered. Okay, so one thing that we can see is it's a lot more closely packed. So if I just zoom up, right, so these are definitely I actually think these are better quality. It would be interesting to see what a quality bit looks like. This is non-destructive, so even if I put a bit in here, it's not going to change. So this is up at 10,000, so let's take it back to 6,500 and let's just see it. So I think this is similar to what we were getting from the tungsten the Titan one, but I like this one as being more closer packed, more uniform. This one doesn't appear to have titanium present, so let me just do a quick couple of zaps. All right, and that's your iron. Oh, and it's got iron chromium in the thing. So the other one was just iron present, and then this is your tungsten carbide. Sorry, let me just show you that. So clicking on the dark areas, oh sorry, I've missed the dark area there. There was a more convincing one where I got a big massive peak of iron. It's because I'm at a higher magnification. Yeah, there you go. So there you go, you've got your iron, chromium, and there next to it you do actually have your pure tungsten carbide. Okay, so let's have a little look now at the fluted part. And again, if you'd like me to look at these again, feel free to let me know. I'm happy enough to pop these back in. And I'm just jumping to this is in the fluted area, so obviously they need less about the shape. It's more of an thing, and yeah, and this is showing up as a pure iron. Oh sorry, this is showing up as pure iron, so nothing special. You've got some dirty things here. I think that is just going to be carbon. Let's just check that. Instant, boom. Yeah, that's carbon and iron. Yep. Okay. So obviously these are not polished up. So just so that you remember, that was the nicely faceted one that I haven't done anything on. One more thing. If you actually like the video, can you just hit the like button, and that's simply so that I know which content that you are interested in, so that we don't go down the route that I make something and say, oh, that has 2 likes, this one has 1, therefore I will go for the one with 2 likes more, and people go, why did you stop making that? So like the button if you like it. Let's pop over to this one now. Which this is the one that I was using yesterday. Okay, so so a little bit, so we've got some dark patches here, and you can see this is the area here that is a bit more rounded off. So you can see how I don't have that nice line that I had before, so this is starting to go, unless I do sharpen it. But obviously if I sharpen it, I'll probably cut off some of this tungsten carbide, so it shows. I'd keep this going for a little bit longer. I don't know if can I sharpen the masonry bits. Comment below if because obviously I'm relatively new to this. Okay, so I've got some splodges here, technical term. That's likely from the me either cleaning it or from the actual dust. So let's just actually do a quick zap on these things. Let's first of all, right, actually at the rounded tip. Sorry, I'm just thinking on my feet on it. So the rounded tip, so even though it's rounded, I've still got a similar contrast, which means that there is still some tungsten carbide particles present. Right, up, tungsten carbide. Yeah, same close packed arrangement than it had before. Like obviously, these are flat. So if I go secondary, these are, oh, let me just contrast brightness that. These are flat, so I'm not sure when you're actually drilling, is it just the very fine edges that is doing it, or like, because it's not rough like a polishing media, because often you want the edges to actually cut it down. This might just be actually adding strength to the actual cutting force itself. So actually let's just see how high we can go without doing too much with it. I could push this a bit more, but this is, we are now at 30,000, and so if I put these particles are about 400 nanometers, so 0.4 microns, which is 100 times smaller than the hair. Okay, and you can actually see here we've got some smaller particles. So one day I'll show you how high we can actually go on it. This is 55,000. I can start seeing a small particle here as well. But again, this, if I put this particle here, is that's about 100 nanometers, so 0.1 micron. Okay, so what I wanted to do was just jump to these dark splodges, right? So first things first, when I look at it, I can see the shape looks relatively amorphous. Amorphous meaning like it looks like gunk. So if I do a point ID on it, and I'm just going to do an instant shot. Okay, so it's got some silicon in it. Now it's silicon carbonate. Is that that might actually be cement from when I was doing it. I'll just click on the tungsten just to sort of show it's still tungsten. sorry, WC is your tungsten. So it's likely that I've just not actually cleaned this enough, and that we've still got contaminants. So let's just go back to the backscattered. So this is all likely all the same, that this is all my plaster, but you can see we've got a break here. I would not be surprised if this, oh right, so this might be sort of some of the carbon being broken down. So let's have a little look at going from the very bright area. So this is the very bright area, tungsten, tiny bit of cobalt there. Click onto here and you can start to see that your iron is starting to become exposed. There's a bit of calcium from the contamination, but I think that is the, yeah, so you can see that there's a little bit more iron present. We're getting a bit of nickel coming through. So I think this area is where the material is starting to break down. So likely I'll keep going with this drill bit before moving over to the nice new one, just to have a little look at the flute itself. So again, I've got these rust areas, so let's have a little look to see what we're seeing. And if I just do it here, and if I just do a quick instant shot here, this should be nicely iron. Oops, sorry, let me just jump. So this point here should be nicely iron. This point here should start to have oxygen. So you can see that there's that peak here is your oxygen peak. So I'll just press that again, and you can see that's the oxide. And this is a little bit of a silicon, which is in the slightly darker regions, which is here. So okay, so I think I'm going to leave it at that. So we've had a look at 4 different drill bits. One drill bit being the, sorry, let me just come down and I'll talk it through. So one drill bit that I used yesterday, one drill bit that I haven't used, both of them are Minotaur. Then one drill bit that was Toolpak, which seemed to be a lot, which unused, but it seemed to be a lot more not as uniform as the other material. And then of course then I used the Titan one, which the Titan one is the only one that had titanium in it. So interesting. And that's the video. So we've had a little look at the different drill bits. I've since found out that this is actually titanium nitride coated, so I should actually maybe have a look at the video again, and I should be able to see hopefully a nitrogen peak, which is down at the very low end. So when I was seeing titanium, it was actually underneath, or sorry, above the actual part. Now the titanium, the Titan hammer drill from Screwfix doesn't mean that these are called Titan drill bits. They're the Titan brand, the Screwfix brand, but I believe there is a Titan non-Screwfix brand as well. So it's somebody's kit with a model called Titan, so not to confuse them. The other 2 bits, the Minotaurs, I've been quite happy with these. This is the one that I've been using a fair amount. I've still got that one fully to live, and it's, yeah, I think it's got a nicer edge than say that SDS drill. The SDS drill, it was a lot less uniform tungsten carbide. It was really nicely uniform, the Minotaur one, but this one was less uniform. Whether that makes a matter on the cutting, but generally when you're doing polishing material, you want as uniform material as possible, and that's going to be done in another video where I will have a look at polishing grits or sandpaper, that kind of thing. So we should hopefully see some cheap stuff against some more expensive stuff, some sandpaper against say silicon carbide paper, and so on. If you do actually have any other ideas, if there are other drill bits you're wanting to give a try, please let me know. Otherwise, it's bye for now.